By the way, I picked the wrong day to record background footage for this video because I was absolute trash. It was like the first 2 games of like booting up Modern Warfare to play it, and I decided to record my first 2 games instead of warming up first, and it was absolute trash. I just want to point that out there. So, yeah, that's why the background gameplay, I just can't aim or control recoil. Do apologize for that. So Modern Warfare 2, the sequel to Modern Warfare 2019, has been leaked. What do I mean by that? Well, we're about, at the time of this voiceover, we're about 3 days, give or take, away from the launch of Vanguard, excuse me. God, Jesus Christ, I don't want another Cold War. Which we'll get into that here in towards the end of the video. But like I said, Modern Warfare 2, the sequel to Modern Warfare, which should be coming out next year, has been leaked. Now, leaks have been suggesting, and this is an article that was 2 days ago. I have it linked down in the description. Now, if you just saw this leak, you would be like, whatever. But this has since been backed up by Tom Henderson, who has been about 80% correct on the Call of Duty leaks. He leaked Vanguard, and I'm pretty sure he also leaked Call of Duty Modern Warfare back before it was even revealed to us in May of 2019. This game is set to be a sequel to Modern Warfare 2019 and is going to be a follow-up, and apparently it's going to be gritty, gruesome, grim, unrelenting, and brave. It goes on to say this is to this end, the report adds that if an enemy combatant is shot, they will not die immediately. Depending on where they have been wounded, they'll beg for their lives, insult you, call out their mother, hallucinate, gurgle, moan, groan, death rattle, convulsive. Of course, this will be limited to the campaign, which the reports note. If you've played the campaign of Modern Warfare, which we're uploading our parts currently on this channel of the replay through, none of this is surprising, but it will be taking things to the next level in terms of grittiness and darkness. A moral compass system similar to the iron system of Red Dead Redemption 2. With this system, certain decisions made by the player will dictate the impact of several moments in the campaign. The report also mentions, and these have been confirmed in terms of the storyline, there will be elastic, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that, elastic gore that will contingent on the caliber of the bullet. So, meaning, if you're using a 50 cal, if you shoot them in the arm, their arm will blow off, etc., with their leg and head. Combatants will lose limbs, but this won't always lead to loss of consciousness, meaning death. If this happens, combatants will squirm and scream. This is apparently in the campaign only. There will be no winners in this story, which possibly hints at the grueling cycle that is the war on drugs. There will be a state-of-the-art weapon dynamics and reversed interactivity, which will be in campaign only. I don't really know what that means. I'm going to assume that Infinity Ward is going to take Modern Warfare's realism to weapons. Again, I know Modern Warfare wasn't it's better than every other Call of Duty, but it's still like Call of Duty. You guys understand what I'm talking about. So I'm assuming they're going to take what they brought with Modern Warfare and like times 100 it and make it even more realistic. I would love to see that, honestly. I don't know why that would be in campaign only, but whatever. During high-intensity moments, your character will react accordingly. For example, if ambushed, the character players are controlling will be visibly shaking up with trembling hands, which in turn impacts things like aiming, reloading, breathing, and voice quivering during callouts. Again, this will be in campaign only, because if this was in multiplayer, I think a lot of people would get triggered. I would actually really enjoy this, because this would make multiplayer really tactical, and you wouldn't have people running around, slide jumping, bunny hopping. Yeah. Here's another interesting thing. Sorry, I cannot speak. Is there will be weapon jam animations, and this will be again in campaign only. Most of these will be in campaign only. What this means is while you're shooting your gun has a chance to jam. That's pretty dope, not gonna lie. But I could see how that would be annoying, even though it is campaign only. On top of that, bullet in the chamber and bullet ejection. Bullets that are ejected unused can be picked back up in the campaign. So that means if you're shooting and your gun jams and you go to clear it, so let's say you're using an M4, you would hit the charging handle and then you would hit forward assist to make sure that bullet is, you know, rechambered correctly. And then that casing that's on the ground that hasn't been spent because it was jammed, you could pick it back up. And some big news in terms of the third mode that Call of Duty is now known for is that there's a third mode that's like survival. It's inspired by the survival mode, but it will be kind of like a Silent Hill type of inspired mode that will replace Spec Ops. Now, I don't know how true any of this is, but I don't even know how true that is, because that's just weird. Like, a PT Silent Hill type of inspired mode, I don't know how that's going to work, but if it is true, we can see next year how it works. As first reported by VGC, Modern Warfare 2's campaign will center around the drug war against Colombian cartels. Sources said that the single-player story is a grittier take on Modern Warfare 2019's campaign, with more close-quarters combat, tricky decision-making, and the classic Call of Duty set-piece moments fans come to expect. Task Force 141 will be returning, providing playable characters in the campaign as well as the operators and multiplayer side. And Task Force 141 will be scrapping the desert-themed military uniforms and bulky helmets for tiger-striped uniforms and boonie hats. For the most part, the heavy-duty tanks, jeeps, and planes of the previous games will be replaced with military rubber boats and small helicopters with better suit the quiet infiltration of Task Force 141, we were told. Significantly, Infinity Ward has completely overhauled its AI system, with enemies now holding wounds, screaming and cursing, and reacting more realistically to gunfire to further immerse players when battling the Colombian cartel. Weapon jamming, character shaking, and other additional animations have been added to the game, too, but are cinematic one-off events rather than a continuous feature that happens throughout the campaign, sources have said. Along with that, Modern Warfare 2022, or Modern Warfare 2, will get a new Warzone map. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Battle Royales, so this isn't my cup of tea, but for those of you who love Warzone, here you go. Perhaps the most significant of Infinity Ward's Modern Warfare 2 plans are focused around Warzone. The free-to-play sensation, which launched shortly after the studio's last premium COD entry. According to people with knowledge of the developer plans, Modern Warfare 2 will release alongside a brand new Warzone map. The third such all-new arena to be launched for the Battle Royale spin-off, as with Verdansk. That was a weird sentence to read off. As with Verdansk, which is based around Modern Warfare 2019's and the upcoming Caldera, the Pacific map with Vanguard, the new Modern Warfare 2 Warzone map will be comprised of various classic points of interest we understand. Locales from the original Modern Warfare 2 will be expanded upon and stitched together, creating a massive new map. This is likely to include a significant expanded version of Favela and other classic or MP maps such as Afghan, Quarry, Terminal, and Trailer Park. It is not clear whether the Modern Warfare 2 Warzone map will permanently replace the Pacific Warzone map or launch alongside it, although it's understood that the publisher Activision has previously been hesitant to offer multiple maps in the game based on analysis of other BRs. Infinity Ward's Warzone map will have a second purpose, to house Modern Warfare 2's third mode, which is described as a mix of PvP and PvE similar to Battlefield 2042's upcoming Hazard Zone. The unnamed game mode, which is said to have been in the making for several years, is expected to see players battling against cartel AI with their friends as they attempt to complete objective-based missions within the same Modern Warfare 2 Warzone map. One person with knowledge of Infinity Ward's plans suggests that the third mode could possibly replace zombies in the Modern Warfare 2 lineup, but this could be potentially changed by release. Now let's move on to multiplayer. It has been rumored ever since the release of the original Modern Warfare multiplayer remaster in 2016 that Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer could also be remastered in the future. Its campaign was re-released last year. We understand that development was indeed underway on the remastered versions of the second game's multiplayer at one stage, but that project was shelved following Modern Warfare 2019's successful release to avoid overshadowing the new game. However, some of this work is said to be coming to 2022's reboot sequel, including remastered maps, weapons, and more returning from the original game. Some maps will return from the core multiplayer experience, but maps have also been expanded upon for Warzone and the third unnamed game mode. Operators will be returning with several key features of Task Force 141 being playable, in addition to some of the campaign's cartel villains where we were told. So that has been so far all of the leaks for Modern Warfare 2. Now, the second article we just talked about, I'm actually more excited hearing more detail and stuff about campaign multiplayer, and apparently this third mode, which contradicts the first leak thing we were talking about. Now, I don't know if I should I don't know if I should talk about this, but I actually just saw some leaked gameplay footage of Cold War Zombies. Now I'm going to be blunt and I'm going to be honest. My suspicions on being disappointed have been confirmed. I'm disappointed because basically it looks like a reskin of Cold War Zombies, and I'm really disappointed. Like I'm really kind of mad that it looks like Treyarch didn't even try. It looks like they just kind of reskimmed Cold War Zombies, and it looks like they made it worse. Now, I'm not gonna say anything else after that. Vanguard releases in 3 days at the time of this voiceover, and I think this video might go up today or tomorrow. And we'll just see what I think about zombies. But so far, from what I've seen from the leaked gameplay, I'm utterly disappointed, and I don't know what to say. So let me know down in the comments, guys, what you think about the Modern Warfare 2 leaks. If you believe them, if you don't. I'm kind of on the flip side. I'm like, this sounds really cool and badass, and it is coming from a reputable leaker. But on the other hand, I don't know. So I'm just going to leave the video here. Without further ado, like, comment, subscribe, guys. This has been Obsessed with Modern Warfare. Let me know down in the comments what you think of the Modern Warfare 2 leaks. I'm kind of excited in terms like of the more realism aspects, and let me know down below. Adios, guys.